4 ways that we can prove triangles are congruent. SSS, that's the first one.
SAS.
SAS. 2 more. ASA, yep. And SAA, which remember, we've also have that written AAS. Same thing. So those are the 4 ways. That should be a review. Today what we're going to do is we're going to learn about something new, and that deals with those triangles being congruent. And so what we're going to focus on today, maybe I just need to click, there we go. Okay, we're going to focus on this statement right here, and this is not written down on your sheet. Okay, so you need to write that down. And that's what is known as CPCTC, and this is really important. Okay, so I'll let you get that down, then we will talk about it and what it means. Now what this means, it says corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So do you see where the CPCTC comes from? Basically what that means, if you show that 2 triangles are congruent by SSS, SAS, ASA, or SAA, that means that every part of the 2 triangles are congruent. All the sides, all the angles. That's what CPCTC means. Okay? So if you show that 3 parts are the same, you know, the angle, side, angle, that means all the angles are the same. All the sides are the same. So let's go ahead and look at this real quick. It asks you a question. Is AD congruent to BC in the figure? And so if you notice what this says, it says use a deductive argument to explain why they must be congruent. So if I look at this, I know that A and B are the same angles. AM and BM are the same segments. Do I know anything else that are the same? Angle 1 and 2. So if I know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2, and that's because they are vertical angles, okay? And that's because they are vertical angles. Okay. I know that triangle ADM is congruent to what triangle? What is A the same as? B. What is D the same as? C. And then M is the same as M. Why do I know that those 2 triangles are congruent? Angle, side, angle. So now if I know that the 2 triangles are congruent, that means that all the sides are the same. So that means that these 2 sides are congruent. It also means that these 2 sides are congruent. It also means that this angle and this angle are the same. So by CPCTC, we can conclude that AD is congruent to BC by CPCTC. Does that make sense? Okay, pretty straightforward. So let's look at the next statement. Is AE congruent to BD in the figure? So the best way to do this, okay, these are those figures that are kind of confusing. The best way to do this is separate it. So let's separate it out. So let's go ahead and start with AEB. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do ADB. So now let's go ahead and write in what we know. I know that the little angle B here is the same as what little angle? A up here. Okay, is there anything else that I know? E and D are the same. Okay, is there anything else that I know? AB is the same as AB. So, are those two triangles the same, yes or no? By what reason? Let's look at what I have. What do I have here, folks? Side, angle, side, angle, angle. Yep. So the green, the purple, and the blue. So by side, angle, angle, I know that triangle ABE is congruent to what triangle? B, close. BAD. Okay, so is side AE congruent to BD? Yes. So that's kind of the logic behind this, the CPCTC. This is how it works. So let's go ahead and look at an example. These are going to be similar to what you have on your homework today. It says M is the midpoint of WX. So if it's the midpoint of WX, I already know that these two segments are the same, right? Because what does midpoint mean?
Middle.
In the middle. It also says it's the midpoint of YZ. So if it's the midpoint of YZ, what do I know? Okay, do I know anything else? Vertical angles. You guys are great on those. So now, do I know anything about the two triangles? They are congruent by what reason? Side angle, side. Nice job. Okay, so now they're asking is YW, which is this side here, is it congruent to ZX? Yes. Y, C, P, C, T, C. That's what you say, because we know the triangles are congruent. Yes, pretty much. Okay, but this is the thing. You have to go through the logic here with the side angle side first before you can conclude that CPCTC works. Let's look at another one. Triangle ABC is isosceles. Isosceles means what? Two sides are the same, which also means that two angles are the same. And CD is the bisector of the vertex angle. Vertex angle is what? The top one right here. So if it's the bisector, that means those are the same. If they tell you it's the vertex angle, what two sides are the same? AC and BC. Because remember that vertex angle is really key. And I know that if those two sides are the same, what two angles are the same? A and B, because those are the angles opposite the sides. So I got all of that from the first statement. Now they want us to conclude, is AD congruent to BD? Okay, yes. Now we have to justify why. Obviously we think it's CPCTC, but why are these two triangles congruent, guys? Angle, side, angle. Nice job. Okay, so those two triangles are congruent. You can conclude that the two sides are the same by CPCTC. Questions? Okay, you've got your assignment written on that sheet. For those of you watching the video, it's pages 233, 234, 1 through 11. Okay? Highly suggest you get going there. You have plenty of time to get done with your homework so that you don't have any homework tonight. Okay, if you have questions, please ask. And this is due tomorrow.